Hello, beautiful humans. Live from New York, it's Monday night. I am here to introduce to you tonight a very special guest, Danielle Davis, here to class up the joint. Danielle is a soprano opera singer, and I have had the pleasure of hearing her at several local occasions here in New York, and I'm so excited to be sharing her and her voice with you today because I absolutely love not just her beautiful singing, but also the friendly and down to earth way that she talks about the compositions that she sings and brings us into them with her and helps us understand the story behind music that I think some people find inaccessible. She makes it accessible, and it's a beautiful experience. So I'm going to read you a sentence from her artist statement on her website, which says, "Art is here to make you feel. Whether it's sad, angry, elated, confused, depressed, frustrated, no emotion is incorrect in music or in life." I really love that, and I think that fits with our vibe here at Monday Night Muses. You know, I'm always asking you how you're feeling and asking you to give me the real answer, not the polite answer, because we are a safe space here for each other. So I'm going to get out of the way and let Danielle sing to you, but first I'm going to just draw your attention to the links scrolling at the bottom of the screen as well as in the chat. Go visit Danielle Davis's website. You'll find ways to connect with her. You can also follow her on Instagram and Facebook. And also, did you notice there's a virtual tip jar link in there? I want to remind you, musicians eat dollars. Opera singers are no exception. This is a unique nutritional requirement, just like panda bears and bamboo. So, if you want to contribute to our unique nutritional needs, we appreciate that, and you can do so by throwing some love in that virtual tip jar, which is PayPal or Venmo at Opera Danielle. Without further ado, I'm going to get out of the way and let Danielle sing to you.
Thank you so much for that. And if there's any music balance stuff going on, feel free to post it in the comment section and let me know. Because opera singers aren't used to microphones and speakers and things like that. So I'm still getting used to it. I'm still getting used to the live thing online. I've done one live show before. So this is number 2. So Danielle Davis, soprano. I am from Lindenhurst, New York. I have sung all over the place internationally, in Hawaii a bunch of times because it's one of my favorite places to go back to. And I had a voice teacher who lives there. And so I guess we'll get right to it. The first piece, I'm going to start with some German. So, a lot of people know opera for Italian opera, or they know it for German opera, but opera is in all languages. I know a Chinese song, there's a lot in English, which I'll sing for you tonight, and French, Russian, Czech, Spanish, really any language that there is, there's an opera in that language. A lot of people are like, oh, opera, it's so boring, but it's so not boring at all. I thought it was really boring until I experienced it for the first time, and I'll go into that story a little bit later with one of the pieces that I'm going to sing for you. But to start off, I'm going to sing Ditoida Halle, which is from Tannhäuser by Richard Wagner. And Wagner is probably one of the most well-known German composers. There's lots of other ones, but I do sing quite a bit of Wagner. It just suits my voice type really well. So in this piece, why I like to open with it is because it's very exciting, and she's very excited because she's heard that this love of her life is coming home from war, and they spent a lot of time in the performance hall together. So she busts into the performance hall and is so excited to be there and talks about the hall and the memories and love. So here is Ditoida Halle. back there. All right, so that's Ditoida Hala. And I'm going to look at some of the comments. Yay! Hi, everyone. Singing opera, having fun. Okay, cool. So the next piece I'm going to sing for you is also a Wagner piece. It is Einsam in trüben Tagen. It is also known as Elsas Dream. And this is from Lohengrin. And I really love Lohengrin. It's got such beautiful music all throughout. And in this piece, Elsa is talking about a dream that she had about how a prince in shining armor is going to come and save her and, whisk her away from all the turmoil, because the town kind of hates her because they think she killed her brother. But it turns out some witch, because, in opera, you could really do anything. So this witch turns her brother into a swan. But all the town knows is that the brother is gone. And so they blame the sister for having killed her brother because she must want the entire empire to herself. Oh, yeah, she's a princess, So in this piece, I'm going to sing about my dream and my knight in shining armor.
Da drang aus meinem Sehnen ein Gott so klagevoll, dem Tag weit getrennt, weit in die Worte schwor. Ich hört ihn fern hinhallen, es kam ein Ohr ihr traf. Mein Auge ist zugefallen, ich sank in süßen Schlaf. In rieche Waffenscheine ein Ritter nahte so tugendliche Reine ich kein noch sah, ein golden Horn zu Hüften gelehnt auf sein Schwert. So trat aus dem Martin zu mit der Reche mit süchtigen Gebaren nahm Tröstung mir ein.
And that is Elsas Dream. You saw my knight in shining armor, right? You could see him with me. He's tall, dark, and handsome, maybe. Okay, let's see. Hi, everyone. Hi, Linda. Wow, this is so awesome. Let me see. The sound balance sounds pretty good. Yes? No? Tell me. Yes, Doritos, hot Doritos. Okay, great. Thank you, Rory. Okay, then. So the next piece I'm going to sing is actually an art song. So the last two were arias. And an aria means that it's a song from an opera. An art song is basically a poem that is set to music. And the composers sometimes will write their own poem, or sometimes they will use a very famous poem. The one that I'm going to sing for you today is Why Do They Shut Me Out of Heaven, which is by Emily Dickinson. So everyone knows Emily Dickinson. And let me see, I want to, because I'm on a different screen. And I want to read the poem to you. Why do they shut me out of heaven? Did I sing too loud? But I can say a little minor, timid as a bird. Wouldn't the angels try me just once more? Just see if I troubled them, but don't shut the door. Oh, if I were a gentleman in the white robe and they were the little hand that knocked, would I forbid? Why do they shut me out of heaven? Did I sing too loud?
Why do they shut me out of heaven? Did I sing too loud? But I can sing a little minor, timid as a bird. Wouldn't the angels try me just once more? Just see if I trouble them, but don't shut the door, don't shut the door. If I were the gentleman in the white rose, and they were the little hand that knocked, could I forbid, could I forbid, could I forbid? Why do they shut me out of heaven? Did I sing too
So much. Yes. Let me in. Heavenly gatekeepers, let me in. Come on. I sing so pretty. So the next piece that I'm going to sing is another art song, and these are in English. I didn't point that out, but I think you could understand the words. So, or some of them, or most of them, and hopefully all of them. Would love that. So, which is it? It's called Will There Really Be a Morning? And the composer is Ricky Ian Gordon. And Ricky Ian Gordon is a famous contemporary American composer. So we do have some of our own, and we do have some that are contemporary. A lot of people think operas from like a ton of years ago, but no, there's a lot more very contemporary opera. One that made it really big fairly recently, within the last couple of years, is Fire Shut Up in My Bones. And they also have these HD performances at movie theaters. So you can go and see an opera at a movie theater rather than going into the city, or if you're across the country and you can't make it to the Met, you know, you could go and watch the Met live in HD. So will there really be, oh. And the poem used for this is also by Emily Dickinson. So here is the poem. Will there really be a morning? Is there such a thing as day? Could I see it from the mountains if I were as tall as they? Has it feet like water lilies? Has it feathers like a bird? Is it brought from famous countries of which I have never heard? Oh, some scholar, oh, some sailor, oh, some wise men from the skies, please to tell this little pilgrim where the place called morning lies. And the words are changed slightly. That'll happen in art songs, so that they fit the music and the intention a little bit more.
will there really be a morning? Is there such a thing as day? Could I see it from the mountains if I were as tall as they? Has it feet like water lilies?
I don't know what happened. Sorry, guys. This is what live is, right? Just having to deal with technical stuff. Ah. And we're just going to do one verse because my technology has decided it has a problem with the file. Putting your phone. I'm not getting any texts or data or anything like that. It's really super weird. Or spam calls. But you heard the whole poem, and it's a beautiful piece. It repeats again. So next time I will sing both verses for you. And it's really interesting because 2020 hit and the pandemic came, and then we were on quarantine. And music is what gets us through things. So what a lot of us wound up doing was asking different people to record accompaniments for us. And this was recorded for me by a dear friend that I went to college with, Paul Kerkis, who's also from Long Island. And he is really wonderful. He's also a composer, a cellist, and he could sing. He's one of those jack of all trades. So he helped me out. Now, the next piece, I was just reflecting on it earlier. It's called Embroidery Aria, and it's from Peter Grimes by Benjamin Britten. So it's also in English, and he is a British composer. Now, in this piece, when I worked on this piece, it was during a very tumultuous time in my life. So we're going back to 2012. And in 2012, I got accepted to go into this program, and I was going to be singing in Austria for a month. And then I was very seriously assaulted, and I kind of broke. You know, I had this emotional break, and I didn't know how to handle anything. And I knew I needed to sing. I knew I couldn't go to Austria, but I knew I needed to sing. So I wound up singing at a program that was right here in Westchester, at the beautiful Sarah Lawrence College, called the Westchester Summer Vocal Institute. And I worked on this piece there, this aria there. And it is a very, very emotional song. And I'm not going to cry. And in this piece, this article of clothing washes up on shore. And she finds it and she sees it, and she sees that there is a pattern that she embroidered in there on the shirt. So she knows exactly whose shirt this is. And it's a little boy that has gone missing. And it is the second boy that the man that she's in love with, Peter Grimes, who's a fisherman, was last seen with. And by finding this article of clothing washing in on the shore, she knew what this meant. And so I worked on this piece during this time where I was very emotional, and it was like I could see my past and the things that had happened to me and see them for what they really were. And then she goes into this passage where she reminisces and she remembers things. And it really helped me get through some of this very, very difficult time. So this is a piece I'm going to sing for you.
brooding on the fantasies of children, and dreamt that only by wishing I could bring some silk into whose meaning we avoid.
Thank you guys for taking this journey with me. Meow. I love kitty cats. I have 3. Thank you for the compliments. So it's really interesting after that time in my life, during that time, and as I was working on this piece and finding my feelings, I was headed down a road of toxicity and hell, basically, and I was digging myself further and further into this pit of pain. And I was doing that with alcohol. And I couldn't seem to stop, and I had no coping skills for life, and I just was so broken. And then 6 months after this event, and while I was singing this piece, 6 months later, I decided to embark on a journey of recovery and sobriety. And I have, since November 18th, 2012, stayed sober one day at a time. And it's really important that people hear that this is possible. And not only that it's possible, but that it's so much fun. And it was so important to my journey because there is no way I could have ever gotten to the place I am now with my singing, and my ability to perform, and the family of friends that I have, had I not embarked upon that journey. And music has just walked with me every step of the way. So music heals, spirituality heals, and I'm going to continue down that path, and I'm going to continue having faith that I'm going exactly where I need to go. So I keep the image of like the sea turtle around me all the time, because they just always have complete faith, and they ride the waves and the currents, and they let it take, like they just let the current take them wherever. When they get knocked down by a wave, they just turn over and keep going without crying. And that's the way to go. That's the way to do it. That's not easy. It's definitely not easy, but it's a very good role model. Okay. So the next piece that I'm going to sing for you is called Senza Mamma, which means without a mother. And it's from Puccini's opera, Suor Angelica. And Suor Angelica is part of a set of 3 operas called Il Trittico. And another famous opera from that is Gianni Schicchi. And I will sing a piece from that in a little bit. It's much lighter than this one. In this piece, actually, I could show you a fun picture from it. Hopefully the color comes out well. I mean, you see the reflection of you guys. But that's me singing it. This exact aria, actually. And Suor Angelica is sent to the nunnery after having a child out of wedlock. And her baby is taken away from her, and she's not heard anything about it. And then her aunt, who's an evil bitch, really, comes and says, I need you to sign these papers because your sister's getting married. And she's like, oh, my sister's getting married. That's wonderful. How's my son? And her aunt's like, oh, he's dead. And she collapses. And then she sings, without a mother, you were sick and you were dying. And then you will hear the music change about halfway through, where she has this realization that she's going to go to heaven and see him again. She's going to be reunited with her son. So it goes from this very sad place to this very hopeful place.
Senza mamma bimbo sei morto, le tue labbra senza I baci miei, solo rirono freddi, chiudesti a bimbo gli occhi belli. Non potendo carezzarmi, le mani di compannesti in croce, e tu sei morto senza sapere. Ora che sei un angelo dal cielo, ora tu puoi vederla, la tua mamma. Tu puoi scendere giù per firmamento. Ed alleggiare intorno mi ti sento, sei qui mi pace m'accarezzi, attivi quando in cielo potrò vederti.
Thank you guys so much. It means so much that I'm able to be here and sing this all for you today. And I really love sharing this type of music with people who've never heard about it before, who just thought opera was boring. I did. I know I did. Like, I don't even know who told me opera was boring. I just assumed it was. And the only knowledge I had of it was like Looney Tunes and Bugs Bunny. Kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit. I mean, I didn't know. That's not what opera is. But I have learned so much today, more about that. So I'm looking at the time and deciding which ones I want to sing and which ones I want to cut. You've had a lot of sad stuff, so why don't we sing some fun stuff? So the next piece, then we'll go right to the next opera in Il Trittico, which Suor Angelica is from. And it's Gianni Schicchi. And in Gianni Schicchi, we have Lauretta. And she's this spunky little, like 14, 15-year-old girl who's so in love. She found this guy. He's really cute. And he pays attention to her. So basically her dad's like, absolutely not. I forbid this. This is crazy. But Lauretta is daddy's little girl. So Lauretta knows how to work her magic on Daddy Dearest. So in this, basically, she's being very melodramatic. And saying, I'm going to throw myself off a bridge if you don't let me marry him. And then also being really cute and saying, Daddy, I love you. So of course he gives in. He winds up giving in. I mean, who wouldn't? But you will recognize this song because this song is used in a lot of different movies and advertisements. And like, if you've ever watched Got Talent, every little kid opera singer goes on and is like, I'll sing O mio Papino Caro, and they have no idea what it means. But anyway, I am here to present it to you today. And you let me know if you'd give her way too.
O mio bambino caro, mi piacerebbe averlo quando Si, si, ci voglio andare. E si l'anno s'intorno
See, I mean, why don't you give her way to? No, this girl will not back down. Thank you so much, password networthy 3. It's probably trend. I'm just not saying it right. So I have a couple more minutes. I am going to sing one more piece, and then I'm going to give a little story to end. But I did want to give you a minute to type in any questions you might have for me. I'd be happy to answer them if I know them, which hopefully I will know them. So please go ahead, type in your questions. High note contest, not a question. I will go for it. I'm glad that you like to hear the backstory and translation. I think it is really awesome to know what's being sung in front of you, because obviously we're acting it out, but it helps to have a little summary beforehand. And yes, Chris, we will go live on the show soon. Message me later and remind me. It's taken me a long time. I had COVID. It's taken me a long time to get back to singing, because it messed up my singing a lot of my breathing rather. And so I still have some diaphragmatic problems where it's like lazy. It's a lazy diaphragm. And when you're singing, your diaphragm is like this. I don't know if you could see me because of the thing there, but it's like this. And it's strong and it's supporting you, and you're supporting all the way down to here. But this is an important one. And this one's like very lazy. So I keep working on it. Like I'm going back to the gym and get my strength and endurance back up. So it's really awesome to be able to give a concert, like an hour-long concert. Did you see the birdie? I also have ADHD. Thank you. Sorry, meant to opera singers have high note contests. Well, not really. Opera singers sing their high notes, and then people on YouTube decide to compile them all together and make their own high note contests. I've seen some really crazy ones. There are some fun ones out there actually, though. Like, so if you look through YouTube and look at opera singer high note contests, you're going to hear some like real crazy high notes. If anybody's like super wobbly or makes you feel uncomfortable, just turn it off. You don't want them. I did see another question up there earlier. Where'd it go? I think it was something about Phantom of the Opera. What do opera singers think of Phantom of the Opera? Well, Phantom of the Opera is not an opera. It is a musical, which is the genre of musical theater, which came from opera, because we had opera and then we had operetta, which had talking in it, and then we had musical theater. So when I didn't know anything about opera, but I really liked musical theater, would sing Phantom of the Opera all the time, because I had all those high notes and I wanted to do musical theater. And it was like the one thing that I could sing that the other kids couldn't sing, but I couldn't sing some of the stuff that they could sing. What is your vocal range? F6. So I don't sing an F6. I go up to a D underneath that F. So F, E, D. But I can hit the E. I just don't use it very often. Like twice a day, I can do it. You don't want to sing it too much, because my voice is a dramatic soprano. So I have a very large instrument. Somebody who has a bit of a smaller instrument tends to be able to sing that F6 and the G right above that. And the Queen of the Night aria, da 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 da. So that one has that G in it. That's very, very high. I cannot sing that note. Not even on my best day. So I'm running out of time though, so I'm not going to answer any more questions. I love you guys. The next piece is Visidarte, and it's from Tosca. It's also by Puccini. And I grew up as a competitive dancer. And then I found musical theater, which had dancing and singing, which I really liked. And then I went and auditioned for a musical theater or performance arts high school. And they're like, but have you heard of opera? Because you open your mouth and opera comes out. And I knew Looney Tunes and I thought opera was boring. And they're like, okay, well, give it a try. So halfway through the semester, I had to write a paper. So I had to go see an opera. And my mom took me to the Met. And we got all dressed up. And then there were these huge, gorgeous chandeliers and this huge stage in front of us, curtains open, and there was a huge set. And then this little tiny person came out on stage and opened their mouth and was this huge sound. And I, from that second, was like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And I fell absolutely in love, head over heels that day. So that opera was Tosca. And I am going to sing as my finale piece tonight for you, Visidarte, Tosca's famous aria.
Non feci
Thank you guys so much. If you have other questions that you want answered, contact me on Instagram or Facebook. I love you. Really, I love you guys all for being here and letting me share this with you. And I wish you the best energy to go forth with. I know that this next hour is going to be phenomenal because Rorie's unbelievable. And yeah, please feel free to tip me on Venmo or PayPal. It's very, very helpful. Having lost all of work during quarantine and stuff. So it is helpful. And go to my website, follow me, find out when I'm performing. If you're in the area, come see me in real life. And that's it. I don't know. There she is.
I don't know why I'm so big. That was not intentional. That felt like a real power move. It was just my ineptitude.
You're like, oh, your voice is big, huh?
I am the master. I was like, oh, I didn't even know it did that. Oh my gosh, Danielle, thank you so much. Your singing is so expressive and takes me on such a journey, and your storytelling paired with it, I just want to thank you. You know, I think that we make different music and we come to music for the same reasons, you know, and I'm just so grateful to have you here and to have gotten to really have this window into your life as well as into these, you know, opera pieces that I don't know. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good show. Kick ass.
Thank you. So everyone, as you know, if you're a regular, stick around for a couple minutes. I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to start a fresh stream. Great time to take a bathroom drink. A bathroom drink? Don't do that. Great time to take a bathroom break or fix yourself a delicious drink. It sounds like I've had a bathroom drink, but I haven't. This is just my inability to talk. And, you know, come back in 2 minutes. I'll be performing for the next hour. Don't forget to go follow Danielle in all the places. Throw some love in the virtual tip jar. This has been so wonderful. Thank you, everybody.